Welcome to this Windows channel, and this is I would say, kind of a little video to explain what exactly happened on Friday and what are the reasons behind people doing such actions. So Friday, October 21st, there was a large-scale DDoS. This is what we call a denial of service attack. What's that? It's simply tremendous amounts of requests sent to servers, and because the servers can't handle such traffic, there's just too much traffic, it will often shut them down or make them crash or simply make them extremely slow because of all the requests. And how does this affect, and how can it affect the computer and where it comes from? Basically, Friday, what happened, many websites were down. Starting at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, there were large-scale attacks, and it came in waves. So it drew to a maximum for 2 hours, then came down, then would go back up. It started on the East Coast of North America and spread through the United States, pretty much up to the West Coast during the day. And basically, it shut down many important websites, CNN, Netflix, PayPal, and many others. There were tons and tons of websites that were down. A lot of news websites. That was an interesting one, though. And basically, what's happening and how do they send out so much attacks? Now, people will say, well, oh wow, these guys must have tremendously powerful computers. Well, they don't, because they don't. You cannot, unless you spend tremendous amounts of money, have the infrastructure to send out so many requests at the same time. So what do? Well, there's a simple way of actually creating a monster network to attack, and without or with very little money spent. And that's turning your computer into a zombie. So what is a zombie computer? Basically, a zombie computer is a machine that is infected with some kind of virus that stays very low profile, that in general does not interfere with your computer at all, because if you find out that it's there, of course you will remove it. So the idea behind this virus is, let's be low profile, take as little resource from the computer as possible so that the person will not know that I'm here. But that little virus is listening. It's listening to a specific command from the internet. Because the people that made that virus, they have control over it. The only thing they have to do is send out a request. So that virus phones home regularly and says, hey, I'm here. And it gives all the details required for the attacker to actually start a large-scale attack. So the reason why the attack was so big is because they have millions of computers that have, or there are zombie computers. But we also learned today that the Chinese company that makes cameras and DVRs and all sorts of Internet of Things devices also said, well, maybe it's a little our fault also, because it seems they've been using some of our devices. So it means computer was a zombie. It means some Internet of Things devices that people own, including cameras. You wouldn't think that your camera is capable of attacking websites, but it has a capability. These are little computers. In the right conditions, they become zombie computers, if you want. So millions and millions of devices controlled at the source. And this is pretty much what it looks like. You've got the attacker. That is, you see it on the top. The attacker will, of course, send the requests that will send all of the zombie computers attacking a specific victim. So in general, they will issue an attack against one website. We saw Friday they launched an attack against many websites. At the peak of the attack, there were over 665 gigabits per second of data being sent out on the internet to attack these websites. So these are attackers that typically use computers from unsuspecting users. And that's why your computer security is not just important for you because it protects you, but your computer, by keeping it secure and virus free, actually cannot participate in such an attack. So if everybody around the world, if every organization around the world would make sure their computers are safe, this kind of attack would not be possible because there wouldn't be any computers available to do the job that they ask for. Now, why do they do this? You might ask, well, I don't know. Why are they doing it? There are several reasons. There's political reasons. Simply, a country wants to try to break down the infrastructure of another country by sending such a huge attack. And, there's no doubt about it. Friday's attack cost probably hundreds of millions of dollars in transactions that were not completed. Think of PayPal. In the 2 hours that PayPal was off, there were dozens and even thousands of transactions that didn't go through. So, loss of money on there. So there's that type of attack. But typically, governments will rarely attack sites that are, like PayPal or Netflix or stuff like that. They usually will try to attack websites and networks that are more for government use in general. Another reason there is monetary. It could be that there's some kind of ransom that was asked somewhere. That happens from time to time. There's a famous case of many years ago, the NFL website at the Super Bowl, where hackers just said, well, you can send us $100,000 and we won't attack your NFL.com website on the famous Super Bowl day where a lot of people go on your website. And of course, that's another way that some attackers will actually make money, ask for millions or hundred thousands. And there are cases where we know that companies have paid to make sure that everything is all right. It could simply be somebody somewhere testing out their tools, or just these tools often get on the web. One of the famous cases here is with a guy from Montreal, a young kid from Montreal, in early 2000s, that had the nickname Mafia Boy. This is the first known massive DDoS attack, and it was done by a little 14, 15-year-old kid in his basement right here in Montreal. He simply downloaded a package that contained tools that could attack websites, and he tried it, and it was successful. It took down and knocked off Google off the grid. It knocked off many websites off the grid, caused apparently several $100 million in damages, and of course he was sent to jail for that. And basically, everything could be possible here. But what you need to know is that to do such an attack, attackers need to have thousands, if not millions, of computers that are infected, that they have control of. That's why the security on your PC is not just for your sake, but it also is for everybody else's sake. And actually, that was one of the scary things about Microsoft stopping the security updates to Windows XP. With Windows XP being still about 9 to 10% of computers. When you think about it, they're all open now with probably tons of security flaws. And an attacker could send a virus and use these machines for DDoS attacks. So that's pretty much how it happens and how it works. And basically, that's what happened on Friday. And the attack on Friday is the biggest attack that has been done in this fashion. There are other ways of attacking websites and the internet, but this is probably one of the easy ones because zombie computers are there, and some PCs are zombies for years. Nobody takes care of them, and nobody really does anything. So that's pretty much what happened. I hope you enjoyed this little informational video of how DDoS attacks happen. And let's hope that there won't be too many of those in the future. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up, and hopefully you enjoy videos. Thank you for watching.